Previously on Soul Mechanics.
Emergency reality check, so I mean, guess who it is? Response clip for Hacking the Headlines girl again.
With different faces, and you can see behind him there the hangman next to the unfinished puzzle of evolution, because these fake scientific theories like evolution are what they have used to make people spiritually hang themselves.
Bible aside, what Jesus taught, and you don't believe what Jesus taught, lady. You don't believe a damn thing he said.
Hola all, welcome back, finally. Been like forever and ever now. I got so mad with this girl in that video that I actually made myself sick. Like, seriously, I woke up with fucking sinus infection, which my shit's still busted up, so I mean, that could carry into my brain and fucking kill me. Anybody that's watching that gives a shit, please give me a good hard prayer that I don't die. I mean, I'd really like to get it cleared up and get it out of my system, because it fucking sucks. My shit's all swelled up inside, but I mean, just surviving would be good enough. So go ahead and put in a word for me. Anyways, also, super happy that I figured out how to do this splicing thing. The last time that I tried it, when I used this app before, and it fucked up and it would throw my voice out of sync with the video, but I figured out how to get around that now, so I can actually start dicking around and learn how to chop clips and make cooler videos. Like, this one's going to be somewhat cooler, I think. I haven't actually made that part yet, but from your perspective, it should have shown you already that it's somewhat cooler. And I'm starting to figure out some tricks to make cool videos, so I'm happy about that. However, do not worry, I am going to go right back to being terribly disgruntled. Now, you saw that video. You saw the one where she speaks about the presidents, and she speaks about, oh, by the way, this is for Hacking the Headlines girl. Anybody that doesn't know, I mean, the original clip, this was getting back to Hacking the Headlines girl because she made a clip about fucking the Antichrist, but she was actually doing a response clip herself dissecting this video called I Pet Goat. If you haven't seen that, go look into it, man. That shit's fucking creepy. It's creepy. It's super weird. It's a really weird, creepy video, but it pretty much, it shows the whole story about, like, the apocalypse and the Christian faith, or the Catholic faith, rather, and their stories and their ideologies about the Antichrist, and it pretty much kind of shows that story, showing you that it's all a show, that it's all a hoax, you know, showing you how it's all a play. And, by the way, madam, Hacking the Headlines girl, in case you didn't notice, the Antichrist that you're talking about, the fake Christ on the raft in the river Styx, he doesn't actually come back. That kid with the head cracked open, he's not born into him, so that doesn't happen. He just goes across the river, and you see the fire in his eyes and everything being destroyed behind him, because that's what Jesus said he was going to do. He said he was going to destroy the church because it was corrupted. I don't know if you remember that. It seems like maybe you didn't actually read a lot of the Bible, but he said he was going to tear down the church because it was corrupted, and that's what Jesus had intended. But I mean, obviously, you just blow over that part and give it little credence. Anyways, she says a lot of things. She says that the Catholic Church is Satan worshippers, which I'm not sure where she gets that, really, except for the fact maybe that, you know, the Catholic Church actually kind of invented Satan, a myth, just made up Satan as a boogeyman in the closet fairy tale to scare stupid people like you. But it seems as though you don't actually, like, know that, because you seem to think that Satan's a real character. Like, even if Satan's not a real creature in real life, you still seem to think that it's actually a character from the Bible, which it's not. Satan is not anywhere in the original scripture. There is no Satan. There never, ever was. No hell either. Anyways, she says that if somebody comes preaching unity and light, she doesn't really seem to understand what Jesus was teaching the first time he came around and he was murdered. Or, I mean, again, as usual, we're presuming that Jesus was a real person and that story holds truth in it. So, first time Jesus came around, he taught pretty much our values, and Christians don't really seem to pay attention to what Jesus said. They pay attention to the rest of the Bible because their church tells them to, and their parents tell them to, or whomever. It's just that part of that indoctrination where they're really just led to believe that the Bible is all true, where in fact the only part of the Bible that's actually solid is what Jesus taught. Even if Jesus isn't a real person, that's like the only part of the Bible that rings true in reality. I mean, a lot of the stories are true, but they're not from the time that it says they are. They're from way back before that, from the calamities. And there's various instances of that. There's evidence for that all over the place. We have multiple variations of that story going back throughout history before the time of Jesus. So I don't know why it's like you people you believe in this one book and you don't bother to do any research whatsoever. It's like you don't give a shit about reality. All you care about is this fucking book, and you're hardwired to do that, and it's fucking creepy. It's crazy. It's creepier than the fucking video that you're responding to. Your belief system and your fanatical considerations are just bad news. Anyway, she says that all the political figures that Obama was a reaction, a solution to the problem that was Bush, who was the dunce, and then Obama was the scholar. And then she says, but it's just another version of the same thing, that they're all just fucking puppets on strings. Way to go, true, loving, non-judging Christian. Would you like to cast the second and third stones as well? Fuck me. Maybe they are puppets. I kind of liked Obama. I thought he was a pretty good guy, actually, but who knows? Obviously, Bush was a moron, but puppets, who knows? Anyways, she says that if somebody comes preaching unity and oneness and love and light, that they're the Antichrist and they're to be rejected because the Bible said so. So that's what pisses me off. I like the video. It's creepy. It's really cool, the animated video, and it's telling a solid truth about the reality of what's happening, that this is all staged, that religion itself is a staged hoax, and people like her buy into it, madam. People like you just eat that shit up. You're fucking crazy. Like you're actually crazy. Not only are you a fucking cultist, man, but you're actually, like, crazy. You are actually legitimately crazy, and I hate to have to say that. It really sucks, and yes, I'm passing that judgment. I'm not a Christian. I don't give a shit. Yes, I'm judging you because you're a fucking asshole. Sorry, I'm an asshole too, but at least I'm not insane. I mean, I have some shred of lucidity here. You just, holy shit, man, you're like trapped in this fucking nightmare world made up by the Bible. And she says that anybody comes preaching unity and love and light, they're seeing things backwards, she said, which is funny. She says that they're seeing that our elder traditions, we have everything backwards, whereas in fact it's looked like every fucking thing you say, man, everything you say in all of your videos is deadpan, straight up fucking in reverse. Like, everything you think is true is not only untrue, but the exact fucking opposite. And you're going to say that we're seeing things backwards. Like, you can't even see what's actually happening to see it playing forward, while the reality of it is it's moving backwards anyways. But you can't even get far enough to consider that because you're living in fucking dreamland. Now, as I was saying, I like the clip that she's responding to. I think that it's awesome, and it's great for spotters. Any spotters out there, watch that. You're going to see the values in play. It's beautiful. It's a masterwork of value and placing meaning in images. But then she just totally misrepresents the entirety of it because she's a fanatic, and that kind of gets on my nerves. But then she's going to go ahead and she's going to say precisely, I'm not saying that I'm Jesus, but anybody that's preaching love and light and unity is an antichrist, she's saying, is to be rejected as the antichrist, and they're backwards. So she's calling me an antichrist specifically. It feels as though she's personally attacking me because those values, that open heart, the open third eye, that those teachings, the teachings of Jesus, the understanding of Jesus, that's me. That fits my profile, and so it feels as though it's a personal attack on me. Now, this is not cognitive dissonance. This is not me misidentifying myself with a belief as she would. This is actually a direct assault on my personality, because you're defining me and you're defining people like me who are working our fucking asses off to get people together and to get people out of the fucking hole that you dug for them. And I'm not, like, I am judging you based on your idiocy, but I'm not condemning you, I'm not attacking you, and I'm not suggesting that you're responsible for it. I'm just using you as a scapegoat for the moment. Ultimately, I'm speaking to Christianity. It's the hole that Christianity dug for us. So I'm sorry about that. I don't want it to seem as though I'm blaming you. You're not to blame. You're a victim. And I'm sorry for you, except for the fact that you have been informed, like you've been given everything that you need to turn that around and get out of that nightmare, but you still don't. Like, you cling to it. So at this point, you're no longer a victim. Really, you're the perpetrator now. So, I mean, to some extent, we can blame you at this point. In any case, she says evolution is a lie now. Evolution is not clear cut. The missing pieces in the evolution on the chalkboard, that's going to refer to the missing links and the fact that evolution is not a solid theory and that we don't know what happened with it. And it has the LOL on top of it because that's laughing. It's laughing about how we don't understand evolution, but that doesn't mean that evolution isn't real. Evolution transpires, we can see that, but it has to have a sort of an intervention event. Something has to step in and cause for it to happen. It doesn't seem to happen on its own. That's where every missing link exists, is where there's a dramatic shift all of a sudden, because it seems as though the genetics must have been manipulated, which leads us back to the aliens, or at least an advanced technology of some kind. But tampering with our genetics, ultimately, is what's going on there. But she says that these fake theories, which you can't have a fake theory, it's a theory. It can't be fake because it's hypothesized. So it's not fake, it's an idea. It's just, you seem to think that most of the world takes evolution as a rock solid truth, but it's not. It's not even close. And we don't have it covered yet because we're unwilling to accept the evidence in play. Or lack thereof, rather. But it seems as though evolution is real, and evolution would be the method by which creation would unfold, so it makes perfect sense. Evolution and creation are the same fucking thing. There's no need to divide those. That's a hoax. That's another part of the hoax. And yes, it's playing on you, and yes, the scientific community is playing into the hoax. Everybody's playing into the hoax. All the higher-ups, yes, they're playing into this hoax, and honestly, I don't think they know that they're doing it. It's probably just happenstance that they kind of... it seems as though they probably forgot that it's even happening, and they're just carrying on this stage play as usual because they don't know any better. But yeah, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. The scientific community has slim grasp on what it's talking about. It does get a lot covered, and it's a great tool, but it doesn't actually know a lot of what it claims to. And yeah, we'll give it that, but evolution is not a scam pulled on humanity to discredit the Bible. Evolution is scientific exploration. The Bible is a ridiculous book written by men that doesn't really make a hell of a lot of sense, and that you cling to it, and that you think that everything is out to get the Bible. Listen to me. If your religion places you in a point where everything that comes along the television screen is a black mirror for scrying, technology is out to get you, science is out to get you, evolution is to discredit the Bible, people preaching peace and love are out to get rid of the Bible. A, if your religion places you against everything that ever happens, maybe you ought to reconsider your religion. And B, yeah, we need to get rid of the Bible. That's a necessity. I'm sorry for any religious folk out there, any Catholics or Christians, but that, I'm sorry. It's the only thing, too. It's the only fucking religion in play. It's the only religion, really, but it's the only spirituality, so to speak, in play that's so damaging. It's the only value in play that's holding us back. So yeah, it needs to go, and I'm going to personally do everything I can to tear your fucking church to the ground. Brick by brick, by my damn self if need be. I don't have a problem with people believing what they want to, and I believe the Bible. I believe a lot of the Bible. I certainly believe in the teachings of Jesus if he was a real person, and I'm going to go ahead and believe he was a real person. So, I mean, that's fair play. That's fine. That's fair game. But the judgments that you place on the world and on life, and the way that you put people down and divide people, and the way that you cling to this as though it's the only truth that exists and everybody else is evil because they don't agree with your Bible. No, that's got to go. The cult of it has to go. Sorry. The Bible can remain as a neat little story that has some truth in it. That's fine. But the rest of it's got to go. Anyways, I'm going to show another clip here just to give an example of something else I want to say. So we'll cut to that right here and get right back with you.
To get to, so I'm just going to try to get through it as quick as I can here. But yeah, here is a picture of the cathedral that is burning, and we can see the two towers in the background. So of course there's a lot of connections to 9/11 and the two towers and these rituals that they do, the phoenix that rises out of the ashes, because this is all serving a bigger agenda, right? As we know, these people are working towards a greater goal. I mean, if you've been studying this stuff, you know that there's always more than meets the eye, and it's all going towards the way of the Antichrist. Okay, this is all in preparation for the Antichrist to come on the world.
Alright, so that was a clip from another video that she posted, which I wanted to speak to that for a moment because I'm pretty sure she'll probably take it down after this, but I wanted to get it up there before she removed it. Kind of a sneak attack. So that's a second. That's not the same video. That's a different video she made afterwards, more recently. And there's really only one thing I need to speak to in there, but a quick update I forgot for anybody else. I did actually find work now, but notice I'm not very happy about it. Or the directive. Anyways, it was a terribly shitty day too. It just fucking rained on my parade, and then everything turns out to be shit, and then I get this, and all hell breaks loose. As I said, timing is everything. Anyways, what she says in that video is she immediately jumps to saying that somebody burnt down the Notre Dame Cathedral in order to, bring about this antichrist apocalypse plan. Of course, like, she doesn't even question it or like look into it. Like, I'm an investigator. I need to make that clear. I'm a true scientist, and I don't toss out, I don't toss anything in the trash bin because it disagrees with my scientism logic, nor do I discredit or besmirch anything because it disagrees with my, spiritual influences. I take everything with a grain of salt, I weigh it out appropriately, and I come to solid conclusions based on my experiences and the experiences of those that I work with, the shared experiences of everybody in the world, and we all come to these same conclusions, that the other traditions knew what the fuck they were talking about. Science is beginning to catch up now and find that, yeah, they were right all along after all. No shit, because they probably had advanced sciences back then. It seems as that's the case, yet this girl's going to go around. This is just speaking really quickly to why I'm so pissed off and why I jump at her all the time. And madam, again, I'm not meaning to attack you. It's just you're the representative of these beliefs in this context. And so it's got to come across as though I'm attacking you, because you're the target. You make yourself a target. I'm sorry, but I'm not meaning to put you down. It's just the stupid shit that you say. And she's going to just constantly be fumbling around in our territory blindly, my territory, just spitting out fucking ridiculous donkey shit that most of the time doesn't even really make any sense unless you take unless you treat the Bible like it's the encyclopedia, and she's just talking about yoga for real. Yoga is an exercise. Yoga's physiological. She's going to say that that's some kind of demonic practice. She's going to say that Buddhism is a fucking death cult. She's going to say that lucid dreaming is opening yourself up to demon infestation, and practicing with magics is witchcraft that's given to you by demons. It's like everything is out to get the Bible. And you know what? Let's go ahead for a second and consider maybe everything is out to get the Bible because it's a threat. Because your religion is a threat to humanity, to mankind, a threat to our future, period. So yeah, everything's ultimately eventually going to be out to get it because it's the fucking virus in the system. So, what she says here, of course, she jumps immediately to saying that the Notre Dame Cathedral was burnt down by them. They did it for the Antichrist agenda. And she points to the statues of the 12 apostles having been removed immediately beforehand, and their heads being removed. And she says this is a prophecy come through because the Bible says that the 12 apostles will be beheaded in the end times. And well, dude, yeah, if somebody actually burnt down the cathedral for these nefarious purposes, then that same somebody removed the statues beforehand, which is a pretty solid tell. Yeah, it seems like somebody probably burnt that down on purpose. And anybody who's with the Remnants program when we first started up, you might recall me having mentioned that might happen. I hoped it wouldn't. I really hoped it wouldn't, but it did, and that sucks. That I actually love that cathedral. She equates it to, she says that because there are 2 towers on the cathedral, that it somehow ties into the Twin Towers. Now that's probably just a coincidence. Like there are actual coincidences sometimes, especially where it concerns, like 2 things and 2 things. That's 2 things. It's not like you're really driving for connections there. But you know what? I'll give it to you, because a lot of people say the same fucking thing about me. They say you're seeing meaning where there isn't. Well, I'm putting it there. So go fuck yourself. Anyways, she says that that's, proof that this prophecy has been fulfilled. Well, if somebody removed those statues and then burnt down the cathedral, that same somebody removed the heads, didn't they? And just like every other prophecy that's come true in recent times, they did it to fulfill the prophecy. They did it to make it appear as though this prophecy has come true, to trick stupid fucking people like you, fanatics, who are going to buy it every time. Just eat that shit up. Anyways, I think that's about all I need to cover with this one. And, I apologize, madam. I'm sorry. And I really hope that you don't go ahead and get pissed off with that cognitive dissonance and report my videos because I use some of your clips. It's fair game. You're allowed to use mine. Go ahead. Take me on if you want to. But, fuck up my small, insignificant channel. But I'm gonna keep coming after yours if you keep just stumbling into my territory and throwing fucking bombs all over the place and teaching people that natural, true, realistic, objective criteria about that your natural abilities and your natural happenings essentially are evil because your Bible says so. I'm gonna keep coming after you. I'm gonna keep tearing your shit down every time. Like I said, I'm going to go after your whole belief system. I'm going to tear it down. I'm not going to stop. So, sorry, you guys have pushed me, and I got mad, and that's that. I'm not going to stop. Anybody disagrees with me that's in the initiative or part of the directive, go ahead and tell me. Maybe we can negotiate it, but as it stands, I'm going to keep hitting. I'm going to keep swinging at it. So, thank you for watching. Keelah, Taerve, siari. Namaste.